All right, here we go with graphing quadratics part 2. So last time we learned how to find the axis symmetry in vertex. So that's really continued learning target for this one. And the new one is I can graph a quadratic. So we're going to go all the way this time. So from the last lesson, just making sure you remember the equation for the axis symmetry and the coordinates of the vertex. We're going to find that right away. So A equals 1, B equals 6, C equals 11. Hopefully you remember that C really doesn't have an effect on this until the very end. So B is 6, A is 1. So we're just going to simplify that. So that's negative 6 over 2. That's negative 3. Need to have X equals. If you don't have X equals, it's going to be wrong. The vertex then, I can put negative 3 there, and I need to go find the Y value. So negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 11. Negative 3 squared is 9. 9, and that's negative 18 plus 11. 9 minus 18 is negative 9 plus 11 is 2. So negative 3, 2. Okay, so that's where we stopped on graphing quadratics part 1. We're going to take the next step and actually finishing the graph. So first thing I'm going to do is put the AOS and vertex on the graph. So X equals negative 3. That is a vertical line through X equals negative 3. So right there, I'm going to go ahead and draw that dotted line. That is my axis of symmetry. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my vertex on there. Negative 3, positive 2. Okay. So this right here is my vertex. And I am going to have you label those things on your quizzes and tests and things like that. So get used to doing that. You want to put those on there first. Okay. Should have waited here. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that and put it right back on there quickly. And then negative 3, 2. Okay. Next, you're going to create a table of values, but not just how we used to do it in first semester. We have to have the vertex in the middle. That's the key for doing these correctly. The vertex, which you found already, is negative 3, 2, goes in the middle. All right. Now, what do you want to do? You want to put 2 X values before negative 3, so negative 4 and negative 5, and 2 X values to the above negative 3, so negative 2 and negative 1. Now you plug each of those in and you find those Y values that go with it. So just because I have scrolled too far, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the equation here. So I'm just going to talk it out. I'm going to show it all. If you want to show it, go for it. Negative 5 squared is 25. I am going to write it out. 25. 6 times negative 5 is negative 30 plus 11. So that's negative 5 plus 11 is positive 6. Negative 4 squared is 16. 16 plus negative 24. All right, 6 times negative 4 is negative 24 plus 11. 16 minus 24 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 11 is 3. Negative 2 squared is 4. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 11 is 3. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 6 plus 11. Negative 5 plus 11 is 6. Hopefully you're noticing that there's some repeated numbers here. Before I go into that, I'm going to plot those. Negative 5, positive 6. Negative 4, positive 3. Negative 2, positive 3. Negative 1, positive 6. And there's my parabola. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear all that and talk about that repeated numbers that we saw in the table. So I'm going to get the table back in there. Y. The Y value one step above the vertex is the same as or equal to the y value one step below the vertex. So one step above and one step below, those are equal. Same goes for the two steps above. So 1, 2, 1, 2 are equal as well. This is because of the symmetry in a parabola. So as long as you've found the middle, you only really need to find two, right? Two y values, because once you find the y value for -2, you should know the y value for -4. Once you find the y value for -1, you should know the y value for -5 because of that symmetry. It saves you work, okay? But you have to get the middle right before you can get that done accurately. So we're gonna do two problems here, start to finish, graphing each quadratic, okay? I'm gonna not put the points on the graph. Actually, I'm gonna have to go back and forth here. So I'm gonna not minimize, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller so that you can see it all. Okay. Try and fit it all on here. All right, so first thing you want to do is AOS. All right, so X equals, by now you should not need to write A, B, and C out, but if you want to, feel free. B is 8, A is -1. So that's going to give me -8 over 2 times -1 is -2. I get X equals 4. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the graph, X equals 4. That is my AOS. Before I go any further, is this one gonna open up or down? Okay, you should know that's gonna open down because of the -A value. That's from lesson 1. Vertex now. I'm gonna plug in 4. So we know 4 goes here. I'm gonna plug it in and we get negative. Now this is a little tricky here. That negative stays, but then X gets replaced with 4. So 4 squared you do first. You gotta do that first, that's 16, and then drop the negative straight down. So it's -16 plus 32 minus 9. So -16 plus 32 is 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. So 4, 7 is my vertex. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there. Because I know this is gonna open down, I'm gonna label it above. Okay, little thing there. I'm gonna go ahead and do my table over on the side here. I'll delete it all in here in a second. Now I'm not just gonna pick any X values. I'm gonna pick 4, 7 as the middle. 2 below would be 3 and 2. 2 above would be 5 and 6. I'm gonna plug 2 in, so -2 squared plus 8 times 2 minus 9. So 2 squared is 4 with a negative in front, so it's -4. 8 times 2 is 16 minus 9. -4 plus 16 is 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. Good news is I know that this is 3 as well. Those have to be equal. If you want to check it, you can, but right now, for time's sake, I'm going to say that those are equal. And I'm going to do 3. 3 squared is 9 with a negative in front. 8 times 3 is 24. -9 plus 24 is 15. Minus 9 is 6. Which means this is also 6. Okay, and now I can plot those points. 2, right 2 up 3. Right 3 up 6. Right 5 up 6. Right 6 up 3. And there's my upside down U like we expected. Okay, a lot of work, I know. But if you follow the steps, it's really not too bad. All right, fraction, there is a little bit that happens here with the fraction. I want to talk about that real quick. After we find the middle, oops, back it up, repeating myself here. Negative B over 2A. B is 4, A is 1/2. Kind of just a coincidence here that it's going to be 4 again, but it's not 4, it's -4. So I'm going to put that AOS here. This one's going to open up, right? Because A is positive. Go ahead and find the vertex. So -4, and I got to find Y. Just plugging it in. So -4 squared is 16. Half of 16 is 8. Hopefully you know where I'm getting that. 4 times -4 is -16 plus 3. -8 plus 3, -5. So -4, -5. There's my vertex. Now, the table is where it's going to get a little bit dicey here. Because of that fraction, I don't really want odd numbers, because if I, for example, I'll just say -3. -3 squared is 9. Half of 9 is a decimal. I don't want that. So I'm going to go by multiples of 2 so I can avoid those decimals. So I'm going to go -2 and 0. Actually, those should be below it, but it doesn't matter. And then -6 and -8. 0 and -8 are both 4 steps away from the middle. -2 and -6 are both 2 steps away from the middle. The symmetry will continue as long as the steps that you take are equal. So 0 should be really easy. 0 plus 0 plus 3. It's 3, which makes -8 really easy. That should be 3 as well. -2, I have to do some little work here. -2 squared. So -2 squared is 4. Half of 4 is 2. 4 times -2 is -8. -8 plus 3. 2 minus 8, -6. -6 plus 3 is -3. All right, so let's go ahead and plot those. -4, -5 is there. -2, -3. 0, +3. -6, -3. 8 doesn't quite fit, but that's okay. You can kind of ballpark it. You know what you're getting here. You're getting a U that's facing up. Okay, hopefully that made sense. And that's graphing quadratics.